If you're driving or riding on dirt this summer, don't leave home without the onX Off-Road GPS app. For less than a tank of gas, get access to 550,000 miles of trails and roads and 985 million acres of public land for camping, fishing, exploring, and all of your outdoor adventures. Go to onxoffroad.com and use the code OJ at checkout for 20% off right now.
Hello, I'm Scott Brady with Overland Journal and Expedition Portal, and I'm here on a beautiful monsoon morning with a beast of a machine, the 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor. Now, this is the newest of the Bronco models, and they have an extensive lineup that can go from everything from a base model two-door all the way up to this ready-to-jump Raptor model. But what makes the Raptor model unique? So it starts off from the front with the V6 that it's got in it. So this is a twin turbo V6 that makes 418 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. It actually goes 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. And it has multi-mode as well. So you can go into sport mode. You can also go into manual shifting mode, which gives you paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And you can even adjust the exhaust to go into sport mode. Moving a little bit further back, we've got a long travel, wide track Fox suspension system. If you take a look at those lower control arms, those cast control arms, they are massive. They're clearly designed for higher speed work. And that suspension is also adjustable from the steering wheel. It has a suspension adjust mode, push the button, and you can go through comfort, normal, sport setting, and even an off-road suspension setting as well. So this is a long travel, wide track Fox suspension. The front axle has a locking differential, and the front sway bar can be disconnected by a push of a button in the cabin as well. Rear axle is reinforced, and it actually has a different case cover for it as well to be able to manage heat dissipation from higher speeds in the desert. This is the first factory vehicle that we have seen in this size class that comes from the factory with a 37-inch tall tire. Because of that wide track and those huge tires, you also end up with some very wide fender flares as well. So the thing that I notice about driving the Raptor just on this nice little trail here is it's just effortless. And it's got so much technology at the fingertips of the driver that you can adjust for any scenario. So you could be driving at higher speeds in Baja, Mexico, or you could be driving at slow speed over very technical terrain. As a stock vehicle, there are very few competitors that match the capability of this truck, particularly in technical terrain. And that's exciting. It's just exciting that you can buy a factory Bronco with 37-inch tires and long travel suspension. I mean, it's just really fun. When it comes to overall capability, this Ford Bronco, this Raptor edition, is just confidence inspiring. And it's $70,000, which is an expensive vehicle. I don't want to dismiss that, but a full-size truck that you buy today easily gets to $70,000. And the competitors in the space are pushing $100,000. So to get this much capability, that motor, 37-inch tall tires, and all of that capability for just over $70,000 is actually quite impressive. And it continues on with this effort that Ford has to push the limits of capability, which they've not done in the past. And I think it's got people really excited about the brand. I mean, I would never buy the Raptor edition. I like the Bronco, but I would probably go with a base model and narrower track, whatever, the minimum I could to get the lockers. But for someone to buy something like this, I mean, it's your UTV, it's your daily driver, it's a high-speed vehicle, and you can go through the Rubicon with it. I mean, it's just really unbelievable what they have packed into this vehicle for that price. And I want to address a couple things, a couple elephants in the room. It's going to be very easy for people to dismiss this because it isn't solid axle. They try to do that with the Bronco in general. The reality is there are very few solid axle vehicles left, and there's a reason for that. Independent front suspension vehicles handle better. They handle better at the limits, they handle better at speed, and they're more confidence inspiring in general to the driver. However, you are giving up that last 10 to 15% in capability or ability to modify the vehicle like you would with a solid axle competitor. But when you gain that 30 to 40% improvement in high-speed handling, vehicle dynamics, the way that the vehicle handles at speed through terrain with that independent front end, the fact that the vehicle doesn't push through a corner as easily, when you're in corrugations, all of those things add to the capabilities of an independent front suspension. And this independent front suspension is designed for heavy use. These are massive control arms, heavy-duty CV axles, large volume oil shock absorbers as well. So you've really got the best of both worlds. If your goal is to do the extreme end of rock crawling, this is probably not the right vehicle. But if you want to do everything else, this is the truck for you.